All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I'll be a little honest, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but I'm a little surprised people are still asking about NVOS and TTOO. Both are just not what they used to be. However, I think NVOS is probably the one to maybe look at because of this 50 moving average line. All right, we used it here to fly. We used it here to fly. Can we do it a third time? That's the question. Edgar Allan Poe, baby, like that's the question, right? I hope that was Edgar Allan Poe that said that. I'm pretty sure it was. If not, I just sounded really dumb, but whatever. TTOO, look, reverse split is death, okay? And I know there are a few anomalies that we saw this year for sure, where a stock does a reverse split and actually was up like 70%. Excella is the one that I always remembered. I think there was another one as well, but look, reverse split is bad. Okay, and if you're gonna look at a couple outliers and be like, oh, this one survived it, mine can too, nah, that's nah, okay? And you know I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money or stuff like that, but that's something you got to put in your back pocket for when it comes again, all right? And then MULN, look, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that there's a lot going on MULN. I haven't looked at that chart in a bit. And then FFIE might be worth a look again. I've been like peeking at the Discord a little bit. I'm traveling right now, but FFIE, I think I heard a couple people talking about it, so I do want to cover that on this one. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll talk about the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines, as well as the occasional diagonal trend line that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, I'm telling you, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, having these amazing conversations, I'm so grateful for it all right? So let's get into it. And you know I always start up here, but I want to talk about volume first, all right? NVOS used to be a volume king, used to be a volume queen for my ladies out there, right? Like NVOS was pushing 400 million shares at one point, living in this 300, 250 world for a bit, actually, pushing just flat 200 a couple times as well. We're now down to single digit millions, all right? And look, there are so many stocks that can't even get to 600,000 shares, let alone 6 million, let alone 1 million, right? So I don't want to like poo-poo this 6 million. That's a lot of shares traded on any given stock, all right? But when your 50-day average was 71 million and you're trading less than 90% of that, right? Because 10% of that would be 7 million. We're actually at 6 million. We've given away 90% of our average 50-day volume. That's a bad sentence, because you always hear me say volume is king, right? Volume is queen. And if you have no volume, that basically means no one cares. And when no one cares, things go down more than they go up. Okay, so the fact that we are no longer this volume king or queen in NVOS, that alone's a relatively disappointing thing. Now look, we are in live trading hours. There's still actually 45 minutes left before the day closes, all right? And the day is trying to do something very important, actually, all right? I wish we had more decimals, but right now you can see the green number on top is 30 cents. That's where we are sitting. We're down here right now. We at one point were pushing 32 cents, and we're actually over both the 8 and the 20 moving average. They're both sitting right here. You can kind of see the oranges here, right? But they're like, we are trying to get back over those two lines. And I started the video with it. What we're also trying to do is bounce on the 50, all right? And we have seen some good success. Look, I didn't mention this one, but there was a baby bounce right here, monster bounce right here, monster bounce right here. Can we do it one more time? Can we do it one more time? I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know. All right. I actually would need to look at my better ones right now. There's a couple more indicators I need to see because there's a lot of 50-50 right here. And I think more of the 50-50 makes me lean towards the bad side than the good. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is this MACD. MACD is getting really close to the zero line. And to base in that, what that makes me think is slipping under. We haven't been under the MACD in quite a while. For the most part, this thing was actually living at zero or better since January of this year, right? And look, I see it. We got close and recovered. We got close and recovered. And again, it was basically that 50 moving average that kept us over. I'm seeing the divergence slow down, right? Like this is a, you're not gonna let me draw it? I gotta zoom out more, sorry. This is a steeper down than we obviously are doing now. We're trying to flatten out a little bit now, right? That said, it's still making me think that we're going to slip under. Yeah, I do see a little bit of green popping up right here, but we saw it right here and we saw it right here. I think I need more. I think the thing that's really, really bothering me the most is the volume. And I don't know if I should give the 50 moving average a little more credit since we've literally done it once, twice, 3 times, hopefully, at least starting off the 4th one, right? Like this right here very easily could have slipped, okay? This very, very easily could have slipped and brought us even lower, right? It's at least on the path of using the 50 well, all right? I don't know. Because the one thing I also talk about, and I generally talk about it on the way up, right? Like you can only, if you hit a resistance so many times, it should finally break, right? It's like that don't break the ice game or Jenga, right? Like if you hit a certain little area too many times, thing's going to break. You can only use a support line so many times before the strength of the support is lost, all right? And we've actually used it incredibly well 4 times. Because again, from here we go from 13 all the way up to 23. Huge gain. From 15, right, all the way up to 32. Huge gain, and arguably even more, right? From here, we went from 19 all the way up to 50. Huge gain. Like, this 50 has done the job. And I think the 50's reaction today is worth looking at NVOS tomorrow. That said, until this closes over 32 cents, there's not a lot that we can do, all right? We need to get over both of these lines, the 8 and the 20. We also need to do it 2 days in a row, right? You know I don't care about a single day because we did it here. We broke both moving averages on a very strong, beautiful candle, only to come back down to that sub 27 that I've been talking about, right? So, you know, it's one of those things where this actually looks decent because of the 50. But I think there's too many other things kind of telling me, I don't know if the 50 is going to do what the 50's been able to do, all right? I have to talk about the reverse split here, all right? There is a possibility of a reverse split on NVOS. I will talk about it right after this. We have seen the devastation that a reverse split brought to TTOO, okay? There is a harder chance to get to $1 than to miss it. We are well below 50%. We're only at 30% of the target. There is a lot that needs to happen before we hit the $1. And look, I know that there's some gaps. I know that theoretically it could be a relatively easy ride up, but man, a relatively easy ride up is what gets a lot of people in trouble. Like when it seems relatively easy, it's easy to just go blind into it and then you just watch it. Like, just be careful and be careful. There's nothing else I can say. It's all about the 50. If the 50 fails, I actually very much believe we're fast drop to 19. Fast drop to 19, all right? I don't think this 23 will hold. I don't. I think it's worth having there, but yeah, I don't think the 23 is going to hold at all. 50 moving average, the entire stock is living off of this red line right now, and it hopefully will do it for a 5th time. 1, 2, 3, 4th time. Sorry about that. NVOS, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, let's come into TTOO. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it so much. But look, let's talk about TTOO real quick, okay? Reverse splits are bad. I don't care if it's 1 to 100. I don't care if it's 1 to 20. I don't care if it's 1 to 3, all right? A reverse split is bad, okay? A forward split, we don't use the word forward, we just call it a split. A regular split is beautiful and great. Reverse split is death. If there's nothing you take away from this video except these couple seconds, put that in your back pocket, all right? Because again, the day of the announcement dropped it this hard. The day after was even worse. Even before the reverse split happened, we saw a devastating 43. Then the day of, we see another devastating 52, right? Followed by another and another, obviously. We do get one decent green candle, but again, it always goes to what I say. We care less about a single day and more about the confirmation and follow through, all right? And today was scary. All right, today was not the biggest red day we've seen, right? This day right here on the 16th was 11 something. Obviously, we said this one was 50, this one was 40. Today's 10% day is actually the scariest of the candles. Why? Why? We are below my all-time low support line. Okay, now yes, I clearly see that all-time lows is way down here in the 5s, right? Like we have been below this. The problem is we are like, this is the last good green candle. This is the strong support. This is actually the support that gave us our green candle yesterday, right? It came to here, it said, oh, I have a support. Let's see if we can go. Today is making me believe no. And let me just see one thing. Okay, the low of the day was 672. We closed at 675. We pretty much we're at a crazy sell-off, and you have to like zoom. My face is on my screen right now, but there's a little baby red line down there representing that couple cents we went up. That's a bad candle. That's a bad full candle under that line. Right now, there is more reason for me to believe TTOO is going to fall deeper and 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 deeper into all-time lows than it is going to make a miraculous recovery up. Okay, all-time lows, I say it all the time, is a black hole vortex that eats your money too quickly. I always assume once a stock falls into all-time lows or falls at least below my support of all-time low, you get ready to lose 20%. And if the hand of God does not come down from heaven to save it, get ready to lose another 20% and another and another and another until that hand of God comes, all right? And I don't say that to be offensive to the religious, right? Like, you need a miracle to save you because, again, I have nothing I can draw to say, okay, I think my next support's at 5 or a little bit. Like, there is nothing but black nothing. That's all I got, and it takes the hand of God coming down to save it, all right? Be careful. We are at a negative MACD. I know that this looks like a relatively low RSI. Like once you get to 30, it should start recovering. No. We have been at the less than 1 RSIs before, 0.45 RSI, all right? There is way too much to worry about here, all right? I know people are saying there's a bunch of things in the pipeline. I know that this stock just got an FDA clearance. I know that there's government contracts and hospital contracts and this and that. I believe in the lines more than fundamentals, and it's for moments like this. I've learned so much about this stock from all my viewers, and as great as everything sounded, the lines matter more. And hey, watch my trading journey if you haven't, but like this is a stock where like the fundamentals and the rah-rahs and the fanboys, oh man, I hope you didn't get stuck here. All right. There's so much reason to believe that the pain isn't even close to done here. And for real, like this is a bold statement I'm going to say, all right? And I'm not saying it for like extremes or anything. I generally believe a stock will go back to the pre-split price. All right. And that actually means dropping back below $1. I said the same thing on Mullen the first time we did the reverse split. And I know it, like, a lot of people freaked out and thought I was like being like a fear monger or whatever. I'm just giving you my honest opinions. All right. The worst is nowhere near on TTOO. I got no reason to look at the weekly, because where are we on the weekly? In the exact same place on the daily. Way too close to all-time lows, well below all the moving averages. Not a lot of reason for me to believe good things are going to happen. MACD is like not even remotely as bad as it could be. RSI has so much room to go down to a 5 from the 47 that we're at. Nothing but horrible volume the last, month and a half. The worst is not over for TTOO, all right? I wish you luck if you don't want to listen to me, because, again, I'm not here to tell you what to do, right? But, man. Mullen. Let's take a look at Mullen really quickly. Hey, really quick, if you can please subscribe, I would appreciate it so much. But Mullen, look at this. There is so much bad happening right here, all right? Few things are, oh my gosh, no. What did I just say about TTOO? Once you fall below my all-time low support line, I expect you to lose 20%. Going from 44 to 34 loses 1 dime on a stock that has 4 dimes, or roughly 25% below this line. And believe me, what am I seeing from the candle? I'm seeing us just getting ready to go deeper and deeper into all-time lows. I can't draw any supports. I have nothing to draw. There's no reason for me to draw something here. Why, like, what makes me believe that 32 is the end, 30 is the end? Like, there is a whole lot of black nothing of abyss below, and man, we're gonna go deeper and deeper. We're going to go deeper and deeper. And I've been saying it for months. This stock has to get over the 8 and the 20 before it's worth your hard-earned money. Right now, we're going to do, it's hard to believe otherwise, but we're going to do this one more time. We're going to just start going below the 8 and the 20, 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 below the, like, there is so much not good on this chart. And really, I think this reflects what TTOO is about to do. Once you lose the all-time low support, get ready to lose 20%. And unless something magically happens, get ready to lose another 20%. And then one more time, unless something magically happens, get ready to lose another 20%, right? Like this, like what's my next target here? I'm not gonna lie, let's do the math together. 0.34 times 80%. My next target price here is 27.2. That's what I believe is next. And then, hey, let's say 0.272 doesn't hold. What's after that? 21.7. All right, like this thing will lose 20% increments until something decides to save it. All right, and if I had to guess, it'll be something like this, where we actually just go really far from the 8 moving average and then magically go up before we go really far, and then magically go up before we go back down, if I had to guess. Mullen, there's not a lot to talk about here. I am not here to spread fear or anything, but man, this is rough for sure. All right, last one is FFIE. Okay, I think today would have been the day to make the move. I'm not sure if tomorrow's going to be good or not. And it's crazy to say that, because all I see is red, and an actual getting over the 20 moving average, right? That said, man, FFIE has had a bit of a struggle with that 20. Looks like there was a decent move right here in May. But yeah, since this August fall, man, this is a tough one. This is a tough one, and this is definitely one you're going to want to have your face. Like, this can actually fly all the way up to 3-something tomorrow. What's the weekly look like? No, it won't go to 3. Oh, shit. Sorry to curse. I'll draw this just to draw it. I think this might save some people if you end up trading it. I think 216 would be the target. And look, it's actually that, you know, I don't care about wicks. I would never draw a line off of a wick, but yeah, I think the wick hit here. I think there's a shot at 216. I don't know if this is going to break the 20 moving average. This looks fantastic. This looks fantastic. This actually looks not that bad, even though it's negative. But yeah, I respect these lines so much. All right, give me confirmation. Right, today we got over it. Give me confirmation, and yeah, for real, there's a lot of reason to believe we're going to come at 340, 350. I think there's a shot we wick to 216, but actually end up closing at 150. I would not be surprised if that happens at all, actually. But today was a good day because today does confirm that the 8 moving average was taken. But again, what we just saw it on TTOO. Sometimes you just can't break the 8, just can't break the 8, just can't break the 8. But then you do, but then you get to the 20 and you fail it, right? So I need a little bit more here to believe, but yeah, there's reason to look at this tomorrow for sure. All right. Again, volume looks good, MACD looks good, but hey, sorry, RSI looks good. But I was just gonna say, like RSI, it actually went a little higher than that. Ooh, when was the last time we were over this? Yeah, we've been there. Beginning of the year, we got to 89. 82, 89, 90, 82. Yeah. All right. I liked it. I do. Again, I am respecting the 20 moving average, maybe a little too much, but hey, I don't think that there's a wrong thing with that, right? So make me believe we've broken the 20, and yeah, I'll start drinking some Kool-Aid that we're going to go, whoops, sorry about that we're going to go to the 50 moving average. But you really, really need to believe that we're going to break the 20 because it has been a difficulty to say the least, all right? But hey, I appreciate your time so much. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, thank you.